Hi, this is Link. I saw that, what's it, sorry, I can't find it on the screen right now. Cannot Die made a video for me. Sorry, I don't know what your real name is. Actually, you can just call me Link. You're calling me SaudaraLink. Yeah, Saudara is Indonesian for brother, and I spent a lot of time in Indonesia, and some of the first videos, I was posting videos so I could get a video to Indonesia when when I first got my YouTube account. So yeah, that's how I got that handle. So just call me Link, so you don't have to try to figure out how to pronounce a foreign word. Anyway, you made a video and I didn't get a message from you or anything. So I just found out about it from a search for something on YouTube, and I came across it. So I'm going to respond to it. I'm assuming you want me to respond. If not, I'm doing it anyway. Well, first of all, you made it sound like I was really hounding your videos. I think I made a few comments over a few days, as I recall, and maybe somebody responded, and I gave a couple responses. It might have came over across 3 weeks, but yeah, I don't think I was really posting on all of your videos. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, you know, one thing I noticed in your debating style here is you just kind of assume what the other person thinks, and you put words in their mouth. And you did that with me, and you assume what I think, and it's not true. And yeah, you seem to do that quite a bit with, at least with me in this video here. One thing you said is all this man cares about is going to heaven. That's what you're talking to me about, and that's not true. I believe in it's important for there to be justice on earth, for there to be good things here on earth, and that as a Christian, I believe the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and it's supposed to start operating right here on the earth too. And that you know, as a Christian in my faith, I need to do good things here on the earth as a part of that. And you've got this idea apparently from your Show Me a Theist video that it's somehow more noble to be an atheist and to have no reason to do good and just to do good for no reason. Anyway, that's I don't agree with that, and I'll go into more detail on that later on. Yeah, so anyway, as a Christian, I believe that God works in Christians to will and to do according to his good pleasure, and that you know, I can take joy in helping other people and doing good things for other people, and atheists can get satisfaction from doing the same thing. So I'm not saying that only Christians do that. So you know, you just paint a picture of your opponent in your debate, or the person you're discussing with, and it's not fair to do that. That's not a good way to discuss. What you should do is talk to the other person and decide what the other person thinks. Now, I did leave a comment about Stalin being an atheist and killing a lot of people, and I'll expand on that. First of all, you gave an example of somebody who killed someone else because the other guy was not a creationist, and they got in an argument and he killed him. Well, what I can tell you is if somebody claims to be a Christian and he kills somebody else, he's not acting in accordance with what Jesus taught. He's not acting in accordance with Christian teaching. And if someone's Jewish and kills somebody else, he's not acting in accordance with what Judaism teaches either, if he murders somebody. So murder is wrong in a very objective sense for Christians and Jews, and it's an evil thing to murder somebody. But if you're an atheist, how is it wrong to kill anybody? Wrong is just an artificial construct. I mean, I'm assuming a type of atheism. I suppose you could have more of a different version of atheism, but I'm assuming kind of a Western materialistic atheism. And I don't mean you're looking for diamond rings and Ferraris. What I mean is if you believe that the universe is composed of matter and energy and that's it, and that your brain is matter and it's a bunch of molecules, and your thoughts are the basically chemical reactions going on in your brain, and that's all there is to the universe, just matter and energy, then what does that say about morality? Let's say that one atheist says, or one individual under this atheist viewpoint says, what's right for me is to rape, kill, steal, and pillage because I gain much enjoyment from these things, and I realize that everything is a bunch of chemical reactions, and I can kill in people's brains, and that's all right and wrong is, and I take enjoyment from doing all of these horrible things, so I'm going to go do them, and for me they're perfectly right because, hey, yeah, if you're an atheist, you can say you're, in a sense, you're your own God with a small g, and you're in charge of what's right and wrong for you, right? So if you say, well, I take pleasure and I take enjoyment, in eating a lot of food and drinking a lot of good drinks, or I take pleasure and enjoyment from doing good works and feeding all the poor kids in Mozambique, and that's what I enjoy doing. Or if you say I take pleasure from hurting other people and doing bad things to other people, objectively, if you're that type of materialist atheist, and if that's all there is to the universe, then how can you say objectively that that's right or wrong? Right or wrong is just a construct that somebody thought up in their head, and other people heard it and they liked it. If you believe in atheism, but as a Christian, I don't believe like that. I believe that there is a God who's higher than me, that He's a source of authority, that He gave laws about what's right and wrong, that morality and what's right and wrong exudes from His character, and that He pervades the universe, that He created the universe. So for me, the concept of right or wrong is something much greater than myself, and it's something very absolute. But for an atheist, the Scooby-Doo atheist, where everything is matter and energy and there's nothing supernatural and there's no God, in their mindset, how can you tell that person from that point of view that there is such a thing as right and wrong? It doesn't make sense. So that's my point with Stalin. The other thing is, I'm talking about you painting other people and putting words in their mouth, is you create this false dichotomy that if somebody believes in denying medical care, or somebody believes in divine healing, that they believe in denying medical care. And yes, I do believe that God heals, and you gave a list of a lot of people that didn't get healed, and I'm not going to deny that people die, or that even people say, hey, I'm going to believe God to heal this person, and then that person dies and they don't give them medical care. I'm not against medical care. I haven't argued that, and you seem to be making an assumption, painting everybody with the same broad brush, and that's not a fair way of debating, by the way. But all it takes is one case of divine healing, one case of a miracle, to prove that divine healing exists. So you need to be looking at the cases of where people get healed and looking into those instead of where people die, because, yeah, we both agree that people die. So I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah, there are people who die. Okay, so I concede that point. But and as a clever atheist, you'll probably be able to disregard any evidence that you see if you try hard enough to. If somebody has a brain injury and they weren't able to walk, they get prayed for, they're able to walk, then you say, oh, well, that was psychosomatic and they were healed a long time ago, but just after they got prayed for. Or you can come up with, if you see something very obviously that's a supernatural healing, you say, oh, it's a camera trick, or it's a magic trick, or it's a scam. Or you can always think of some way not to believe if you see something. But, if you should have a more open mind than that. And, I saw a video today. I don't know this lady. I saw a video about Delia Knox. She was a gospel singer who was in a wheelchair. She got in an accident. I think it was early 90s. She got I'm not sure the date. She got in an accident when she was 25. She's kind of middle aged looking now. Sorry if she sees this. Anyway, she couldn't walk. She was in a wheelchair, and she has made some albums, apparently gospel albums. I'd never heard of her before, and so she was kind of well known. There's video of her on the internet just sitting in a wheelchair singing and all that. So she goes to a church service several months ago. People pray for her. She says, I can feel my legs. She gets up out of the wheelchair. She stands up, and then they walk her around. Her legs are still weak. And then they put on the local news when she goes home to see her mother and father in Buffalo and a bunch of other people. She walks out of the car, and they put a little blurb on the local news about it. And all this stuff is on YouTube. I saw this on YouTube. You can look this one up and see if it's real. Do an investigation. Really look into it. See if it's some kind of scam. And there's lots of other people. I've known other people who've gotten healed. I mean, I know personally. I know somebody personally who's been healed. There's a lot of evidence out there if you really want to look for it. And what I would suggest to you, you seem very proud of your knowledge of the world, but if you think about it, you're very proud of your knowledge, which is not really knowledge. It's based on a lack of experience and assuming that you're true. You've got this little box of how you think the world works, and you're very arrogant and proud about the fact that the world is this way, when really the world has a lot more to it, and the universe has a lot more to it than what you see. And I know God has answered very specific prayers that I prayed. It's not just, bless those kids in Africa over there, and the next day I see on TV that some kids in Africa are doing better, and I say, oh, it's an answered prayer. No, very specific stuff I've seen God do, and He's given me knowledge that I couldn't know naturally. And on different occasions, and just a lot of things. I see God work in my life. Now, that happened after I believed in God, and if you really want to be a sincere person about knowledge, and you seem to be an intellectual type who wants to know more, you need to take the attitude of a humble seeker. Why don't you read the Bible, pray? If you're just a bunch of chemical reactions, it doesn't matter anyway, and you would better understand by reading the Bible much of the world and the way some other people think. So you really have nothing to lose, and if you, with a sincere, humble heart, seek God, hey, you might even find something, a little bit better than just a better knowledge of the world. So that's what I would encourage you to do, is to take an attitude of a humble seeker and begin trying to have an attitude to seek after God instead of, I don't know what atheists get out of trying to defend atheism. It doesn't really matter anyway if it were true, and it's not true. So thanks for watching my video.